We open on the glittering chaos of a high-end Manhattan nightclub owned by the Russo crime family. Lucia Russo, 26, sharp-eyed and elegant in a way that suggests both privilege and danger, watches the crowd from the VIP section. She's her father's daughter, educated, multilingual, and raised in the shadows of organized crime, though she's worked hard to distance herself by running a legitimate art gallery. Enter Marco Santos, 29, supposedly a rising enforcer from the Philadelphia outfit looking to establish connections in New York. He's charming, street smart, with just enough rough edges to seem authentic. In reality, he's FBI Special Agent Marco Delgado, deep undercover in an operation that's taken 3 years to build. Their first meeting is electric but antagonistic. Lucia immediately distrusts him. She's seen too many ambitious men try to use her as a shortcut to her father, Vittorio Russo, the aging but still formidable head of the family. Marco, for his part, sees her as a potential weakness to exploit, a way into the inner circle. Vittorio, impressed by Marco's fake credentials and references from corrupted contacts, assigns him to protect Lucia after a rival family makes veiled threats. Marco's FBI handler warns him this is exactly the opportunity they need, but getting close to the boss's daughter is dangerous territory, personally and professionally. Forced proximity becomes the catalyst. Marco shadows Lucia through her daily life. Her gallery, charity events, tense family dinners where power plays happen over pasta. She begins to see past his tough guy facade. He's different from the others. He actually listens when she talks about art, he challenges her intellectually, and he doesn't treat her like a trophy or a transaction. We see glimpses of Marco's internal conflict through secret meetings with his handler, Agent Sarah Chen. He's documenting everything, wearing a wire to family gatherings, photographing ledgers. But he's also starting to see Lucia as more than a target. She's a woman trapped by circumstances of birth, trying to build something legitimate while her father's world threatens to consume her. During a violent confrontation with the rival Calabrese family, Marco saves Lucia's life, taking a bullet in the process. As she tends to his wound in a safe house, the walls between them crumble. They sleep together, and in the quiet afterward, Lucia confesses that she's always wanted to leave this life, but doesn't know how. She doesn't know her father launders money through her gallery, doesn't know about the worst of his crimes. Marco is torn apart. He's falling in love with her genuinely, and she's innocent of her father's sins. But the operation is reaching its critical phase. Their relationship deepens even as the investigation tightens. Lucia introduces Marco to her world, not the criminal one, but her private one. Her love of forgotten artists, her dream of opening galleries for young talent in struggling neighborhoods, the person she wishes she could be. Meanwhile, Vittorio is planning his biggest move, a partnership with the Calabrese family to control the port shipping routes. It's the evidence the FBI needs for a RICO case. Marco is positioned perfectly to document the deal. Tony Russo, Lucia's suspicious older brother and Vittorio's heir, never trusted Marco. He hires a private investigator who begins digging into Marco's past. The clock is ticking. Lucia accidentally discovers one of Marco's surveillance photos in his apartment, a photo of her father. The betrayal shatters her. The confrontation is devastating. Everything was a lie. I was just part of your job. Marco tries to explain, tells her the truth about who he is and why he's there, begs her to understand that what they have is real. But Lucia is drowning in betrayal from Marco, from her father, whose crimes she can no longer ignore, from the life she thought she knew. Lucia faces an impossible choice. Tony has discovered Marco's identity and is planning to kill him. She can warn Marco, betraying her family, or she can stay silent and let the man she loves die. She warns him, but the cost is devastating. She must also warn her father to flee, knowing it will destroy Marco's case. Marco refuses to run, insisting he won't let 3 years of work and justice for Vittorio's victims mean nothing. The FBI moves in during the pot deal meeting. Chaos erupts, gunfire, arrests. In the confusion, Tony tries to kill Marco, but Lucia steps between them. Vittorio, seeing his daughter choose an FBI agent over family, has a moment of terrible clarity about what he's done to her life. Vittorio surrenders to protect Lucia from prosecution. In his final conversation with his daughter, he tells her he's setting her free in the only way he can, by making sure she's never implicated, by taking full responsibility. Vittorio is serving a life sentence. The Russo empire has collapsed. Lucia has sold her gallery and disappeared from New York. Marco, struggling with guilt and loss, receives an unsigned postcard from Florence, Italy. On the back, a gallery opening announcement for emerging artists. No name, but he recognizes her handwriting in the curatorial notes. The final scene shows Lucia in Florence, transformed, finally living the life she wanted. She glances at her phone, a message from an unknown number. "Proud of you." She almost smiles, then deletes it. Some love stories don't end with reconciliation. Some end with two people who changed each other forever, learning to live with the consequences of impossible choices.